My name is Michael Ruttenberg, and I am the clinical director at Larimer County's Criminal Justice Services. Criminal Justice Services is a division within Larimer County government that oversees both the Alternative Sentencing Department and the Community Corrections Department. We are an alternative sentencing area of criminal justice, meaning that we provide alternatives to traditional jail or prison settings to allow people to serve their sentence for the crimes that they've committed. Our intention is to intervene in the underlying factors that contributed to their getting into trouble in the first place. Our hope is that we reduce their risk to recidivate and have folks continue to contribute in a healthy way to our communities. I wanted to spend a minute and talk about credentialing as it applies to addictions counseling. There are multiple pathways to become an addictions counselor in the state of Colorado. Typically, somebody that is interested in this field starts out with a certified addictions technician. Essentially, that is somebody that's going to be assisting clinicians in doing the work. It's a lot of paperwork, it's a lot of sitting in group and doing notes. It really is an assistant to a counselor. For that role, you don't need to have a bachelor's degree. You can do that right out of high school. You can take the coursework and get right into there and start collecting hours. In order to take the next step, which is to become a certified addiction specialist, you have to have a bachelor's degree in a behavioral health field as defined by the state of Colorado. And that, once you have that certification, so you get your technician, you are operating as a technician for a period of time, you take an additional set of courses so that you can operate as a specialist. All of that time is supervised by a specialist or a licensed addictions counselor to make sure that you're prepared to do that work. There's exams that you need to take at each stage. But once you get your specialist, then you can operate with a bachelor's degree as an addictions counselor, running groups, doing a lot of the things that Jim Fox talked about that he does on a daily basis. That will allow you to do that work. If you're wanting to dig a little bit deeper, go a little bit further in behavioral health, that's when then you go and get your master's degree in a behavioral health discipline. It can be a master's of addictions counseling. It can also be a lot of other things. It can be a master's in social work. I have a master's in human development and family studies with a specialization in marriage and family therapy. There are counseling psych programs. There's a lot of different ways to become a behavioral health therapist and be licensed in the state of Colorado. But you need a master's degree to do that. And then again, after you get your master's degree, you have a period of time in which you perform supervised practice by a licensed clinician. You take a national exam, and then you actually get your credential and can practice independently in the state of Colorado. So addictions, you have the ability with, as you're working towards your bachelor's degree, to start engaging in this work as a technician. So then once you get your bachelor's degree, get that specialist certification so you can actually get a job as a clinician in addictions.